Ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. For today, we're going to be taking our second look at this brand new Enter the Phoenix Force uniform for Hyperion. This one has been long awaited, had multiple people hitting me up in the comments and on Discord, but I've been taking my time patiently testing this uniform out to see if we can get it to work, because I was very excited when I saw that this was announced for Hyperion, because Hyperion base form is supposed to be one of the strongest characters in Marvel Comics. So with the power of the Phoenix Force, with the power of life itself, I expected him to soar to new heights and be able to dominate the entirety of the game, or at least an aspect of it. And unfortunately, after testing him for, what is it, four or 5 days now, he doesn't look like he's going to be that. He looks like he's going to be a disappointment in the eyes of many people, especially if you are in the majority of players who play this game. The majority of players that play Marvel Future Fight, they care about PvE content. They care about World Boss Legend, to be specific. So we were hoping that Hyperion would be strong enough to compete there. And he may still be able to do some stuff once we build him up a little bit more. But initial testings and retesting and doing more testing and speaking to other people who have tested him is basically telling me that he's going to be a disappointment to a vast majority of players. And it's a design choice. It seems as though the Future Fight development team wanted Hyperion to be primarily a PvP character. So we're going to have to explore that option with him in a later video, but when it comes to PvE, he's going to be a massive letdown, unfortunately. And why that is the case is simply because of how he is designed, how his skills play out, and where they decided to put his damage accumulation. So when we were testing Hyperion previously, he looked really good, and I was trying to figure out why that was, because now that I'm testing him, now that I've built him up, I've given him, 12 6-star Urus, I expected him to just be cutting through content. But that's not the case. He seems very inconsistent and very unreliable. And after inspecting his kit and expecting other characters like him, I've realized that the reason why that is simply because of where his damage accumulation is placed and where the bulk of his damage comes from. Yes, so for Hyperion, his damage accumulation is placed on his 5th skill. This is good, but also bad. His 5th skill roots him in place and he can be hit because this is not an iframe. The reason why this is bad though is because this is his highest damage skill, and in addition to that, he's firing off damage accumulation based on damage taken immediately upon using his strongest skill, which means there's no time for you to ramp up the accumulation. You literally pop the 5th skill and you take maybe 1 hit and then he fires off this beam. There's not enough time. There is not enough time for Hyperion to fully max out the damage accumulation, and because of that, his damage suffers. If you take a look at other characters with damage accumulation, for example, our favorite damage accumulation monster, Sharon Rogers. If you take a look at this character's playstyle, her damage accumulation is placed, in my opinion, in the perfect place. And honestly, that's where they should have possibly considered putting Hyperion's as well. For Sharon Rogers, when you pop her 3rd skill, just take a look. It doesn't do any damage right away, and look at that. You get about 3 seconds where you can literally just sit there and soak up incoming damage before you can retaliate. But that's not all, right? You can easily go 3, pause, 5, pause, and then you can use 4, right? So you have like 5 seconds to soak up a bunch of incoming attack. Let me show you guys. Let me just turn on the AI, right? So we go 5. Look at all that time that you have to soak up incoming attack to ensure that your damage accumulation is completely maxed out before you do your big hit. You don't have to over exaggerate the pause and the gap between the skills. You can easily just go 3 insta cancel, 5 delay cancel, and then go 4. But I'm doing this to show you the reason why someone like Sharon Rogers is so strong even before she pops her tier 3 and supercharges her accumulation is because of the fact that she's able to put up her damage accumulation, and then there's gaps, and they even went back to this character with this latest uniform for her and removed her iframe, which was actually a really good part of her kit, but they removed it to make her even better. You might be wondering, how is Sharon Rogers now able to one-shot Danger Room and one-shot Galactus on just like a 3-5-4 rotation? It's simple. Now that she no longer has the iframe here, there's more gaps for her to get hit on the new uniform, right? So the more gaps for her to get hit, the better, because she's able to retaliate and hit even harder. And if you take a look at other damage accumulation monsters in the game, you'll notice there's a pattern, and they decided for some reason to break the pattern with Hyperion. Look at Dr. Doom. His accumulation is on his 3rd skill. Look at Luke Cage, another damage accumulation monster. Where is he? My guy all the way down here in the Awakened section, right? His damage accumulation is on his 3rd skill. And if you look, his 3rd skill does no damage, right? You literally pop his 3rd skill and he just basically rolls his shoulder back, preparing for an incoming attack. And then while he's here, he's just gonna soak up all that, like all the hits that could be coming from the mobs or the boss or whoever, and then he's just going to retaliate and do so much more damage to you. And if you take a look at other characters that have damage accumulation based on damage taken, you will notice that is always in a skill that gives them, or on a skill rather, that gives them the opportunity to soak up as much damage as possible. But for Hyperion, they decided to break the mold, right? We've been playing with Captain America a lot lately, and I've been showing you guys that with Captain America, you sit in his new tier 3, right? And you just soak up all that damage. And then once you're done soaking up all the damage, you basically just clap back and you're taking off 10-15 bars of the bosses, depending on how far you are in World Boss or World Boss Legend, right? But for Hyperion, he doesn't get the luxury of like sitting, waiting, accumulating. You see, this is why Captain America is so great right now. He has all that extra time to accumulate, and he cannot be interrupted. He cannot be guard broken. The skill now has iframe ignore, so even if the boss jumps off the map to do some type of wonky stuff, Cap is not gonna get interrupted, right? So if you're wondering, why is nobody using Hyperion? Is he bad? He's not necessarily bad. He's just not that great. His rotation is like suboptimal, and the placement of his damage accumulation is really just crushing everyone's hopes and dreams, because he has the exact same accumulation, the 15%, right? The 15% extra attack per 1%. He has the exact same as Sharon Rogers, and he can keep it up pretty much all the time. So you would think that he would be a top tier character with top tier damage accumulation, but he just doesn't have it. And the thing is, to make matters even worse, the way how you play Hyperion right now, or at least in my opinion, the way how I've been playing him is 3, 4, proc on 5. You just basically soak up as much damage as you can take. You maybe want to squeeze in 1 or 2, completely up to you, because you have the accumulation up now. But the thing is, if you're doing 3, 4, 5, by the time you get to 5, you've already used your 3 and your 4, and all you're left with is your 1s and your 2, and your 1 and your 2 unfortunately just does not do enough damage. And here's the thing, because his accumulation is on his 5th skill, which is his strongest skill, right? It even hits harder than his tier 3. There's kind of no point in using his tier 3. And if you do use his 5th skill and then use his tier 3, your 5th skill is going to take the proc. So where are you going to find time to proc on the tier 3? Like, his tier 3 doesn't give you any kind of crazy buffs, right? And then on top of that, it seems weaker than his 5th skill. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, boys. His tier 3 is an iframe. You can't oh, you can see it there. His tier 3 is an iframe. When you're using Hyperion, right, you want to proc on his 5th skill after you put up the damage accumulation, which means if you're using a regular proc, it's kind of dead in the wind for you to try and proc on the tier 3. And even still, when you jump into the tier 3, you can't accumulate any damage because you're in an iframe. Hyperion's kit is just kind of reminding me of Crescent, guys. It really is. Like, the design for the character overall just seems kind of bad. They should have put his accumulation on his third skill like they've been doing for literally every other character. Like, for example, again, I could give you so many examples of characters that have damage accumulation based on damage taken, and it's always on their third skill. I'm pretty sure Hulkbuster has it on his third skill. Yep. Damage taken. Oh, this is damage dealt. I'm pretty sure War Machine has it on his third skill though, and it is damage taken. But even Rhodes is not perfect because he's in an iframe for his most powerful skills, so he can't fully use that accumulation. But the reason why he's still good at the very least is he doesn't require to get hit as much because he has the super charge rate on his tier 3, which Hyperion didn't get. Like, they gave Hyperion such a trash tier 3 bonus. Like, they gave him ignore defense, bro. Not even ignore dodge. They gave him ignore defense and critical damage. Huh? Anybody who has a tier 3 that does not have critical damage maxed out, what are you doing? If you don't have ignore defense maxed out, whether you're tier 2 or tier 3, what are you doing? So you have 2 useless stats on his tier 3. And then if you're using him in World Boss Legend, defense down don't matter. So you're basically just getting some immunity, which you don't even need the immunity because Hyperion, he's constantly healing. Plus, he has multiple skills with iframe, and then he has like another heal right here on his third skill. So like, what? Like, his tier 3 is actually just kind of useless. It's actually just kind of useless. It's crazy to me, like, they decided to do this to Hyperion, but I guess they just wanted to make him a PvP character, so they didn't even think logically about how he was gonna operate in PvE. That's honestly the truth. The most I've been able to do with this guy, I'll show you guys right now, is Mephisto. He struggles hard against Null. Like, stage 19, he's worse than Wolverine against Null. He can do a little bit better than Wolverine against Mephisto, probably due to the fact that he doesn't have a type disadvantage, and because of the fact that Mephisto hits you so much, so it's much easier for him to ramp up his damage accumulation over there. I honestly think if you're gonna use Hyperion in PvE content, you're gonna need a judgment, but frankly, there's so many better characters to give a judgment to that I don't even think he's worth considering for a judgment. Like, it's kind of sad. But if you're free to play, this is good news because you're not missing out on anything. Because he's only really good for AC. Like, right now I have his tier 3, but like, do I just fire it off for the sake of firing it off the proc? I guess so, because it doesn't do as much damage as his Viv skill. Like, he's just so weird and awkward to play. Like, he has to be used with a rage or a judgment. It absolutely has to be the case. Like, it's just crazy to me. I don't think they thought about like how they wanted him to actually do in PvE. Like, he's gonna be a great leadership, and then besides that, I guess, like, what do? Do you just like cancel out of his cancel out of his fifth skill into his tier 3? Like, but if you do that, you don't get any time to accumulate anything, right? So man, honestly, he's just not that great. He's honestly not that great. Maybe I'll feel differently when I have a judgment on him, but like, okay, that was good. But like, let me show you guys how much damage he does on the proc if we just cancel out the fifth skill. That's it. That's it. You know why? Because he's in an iframe and he can't accumulate anything. Like, we would have been better off just not even using the tier 3. It's crazy. Like, what's the point, bro? Like, I guess the stat bump and being able to participate is the perk from having the tier 3. Also, by the way, his his invincibility is only 3 seconds, so you can take a bunch of damage. And also, since it's invincibility, you can actually get stripped of it and die and stuff. Okay, let's just fire this off. That was with the accumulation ramped up and everything, guys. Like, sorry to tell you, he's just not that great, and it's unfortunate. I think he's worse than Wolverine. He just looks a little bit better because I have more energy on my cards. That was good, but he's very inconsistent, right? He's very inconsistent. Is there ever the point to doing this? Like, actually no, because like I'm gonna time freeze him or whatever, and then he's just gonna not hit me, and I need to get hit, right? Otherwise my damage is doo-doo. So I was thinking maybe we should go like start off with the 5 and then use the 4, like like just reverse the rotation, do like 5, and then after that proc on 4. But like, look, procking on 4, that was it. That was all the damage, bro. That was literally all the damage. So you absolutely have to proc on 5. It's crazy. Like, he's he's a great leader. That's it. He's a great leader, and he's pretty tanky because of the constant healing and stuff. For AC, I found value in him, but like, come on, man. Come on, man. That's not what I want to be telling people. Oh, he's great for AC. Like, no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I have to sit around waiting a lot. Because, like, he's one of those characters where it's a retaliation game. It's not good, man. I think we're going to run out of time because I'm, like, trying to show you guys, like, his flaws and whatnot, but like, I'm not here to cap or lie to anybody, right? I'm not gonna try and like make him seem better than he is. He's just not good. Like, I can beat this stage, I've beaten it several times, but like, it just sucks, man. It really does. Let me just fire off the tier 3, get like a couple bars of damage at least. Like, when you get the accumulation ramped up, it's decent damage. Hit me, hit me, hit me. We can do that because we have the debuff removal and stuff, but like, yikes. Like, I was speaking to John and a couple other people, and even they don't find Hyperion to be that great. And when that's the case, I know like I'm not like I'm not off the money. Because like, I can be wrong, like I'm human, right? I can be wrong, but like, I usually like communicate with other people whose opinions are generally very much so on the money, right? Especially people who like push World Boss Legend at higher levels than I'm currently at, right? I speak to them a lot and I'm like, yo, how do you find so and so? Because without even telling them what my results are, right? Because I want to see if they're getting varying results. Like, if they're doing something different, the rotation is different, the play style is different, and they're getting success where I'm finding failure. And with Hyperion, I'm just noticing, by the way, in case you're wondering why we're using Cyclops, is because we don't have any other support options for Hyperion at this current stage. And I was trying Hyperion on stage 20 over here, and it requires that you use male superheroes. So kind of had to take off the Phoenix uniform off Cyclops because it makes him a villain. However, unfortunately, over here we don't have a Taskmaster, and you'll see that his damage is like, yeah, it's not good, fam. It's not good. Just, it's so sad, man. Like, it's another Blue Marvel situation. It really is. Like, I'm just gonna fire off the tier 3. Maybe with Judgment, the success or success rate will go up. You know, because like with Judgment, you don't have to worry about proccing all on one skill. So maybe that's why I'm not having a great time with him. On the plus side, this tier 3, you can use that to dodge the cage. Come on. There's a proc. There it is, but no damage, bro. Yikes. Yeah, he needs to be played with a Judgment or a Rage or one of those, man. Yeah. I don't know why they didn't put the accumulation on one of the other skills, man. And if they did put it on the 5, why didn't they make it so that one of his other skills hit harder? Like, I just don't get it. Like, yikes. Whatever. Just gonna fire off the tier 3, man. We just barely missed the proc there. Okay, Hyperion, run. Okay. I wanted to see if I could get some of the accumulation juice that was left over. We couldn't. The poison is helping us out a little bit here. Okay, we got stunned or whatever. Yep. Yeah, he's not that strong. And being an Eternal, when they changed him from being, what was it, like alien or whatever? I don't remember what he was before. Oh, wait. Oh man, I thought I saw a gap where we used a little bit of the 5th skill and we were able to proc on the tier 3. I thought that would have given us like some nice juicy damage, but honestly it didn't. It didn't quite play out. And even just now, we accumulated a good bit before the proc went off, and then it was just like not that great. Also, when you're playing him with a damage proc, there's a high probability of your 4th skill triggering your proc. Like, right? I called it. I literally spoke it into existence. Anyways. Literally spoke it into existence. Let's just stay down here. Alright. I'm gonna try and see if I can get him to fall on me, but like, I'm gonna just use 5. Come on. Yikes, no damage at all. I rest my case. I rest my case. The design choice for this character was not fully thought out. I'm getting what's her face? Crescent vibes all over again. But if you guys have Hyperion and you are noticing different things than I'm noticing, like maybe you have a different rotation, maybe you're noticing that his damage is better than I'm currently saying, like, please do let me know in the comments. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect. By no means am I saying that. Alright? But I've been playing with him for quite a few days, and it's not getting better. Wow. Come on, Hyperion. Accumulate the damage. You see what I'm trying to do, right, guys? Like, that's the only opportunity for him to accumulate damage in this portion of the fight here. Actually, we're gonna try and see if we can. Gosh. Oh man. Yeah. I think this is it's a deal. It's done, bro. It's done. Yeah, it's over. Like, I was trying to step into that cage to see if we can get damage off of it, because otherwise it's gonna be a failure. Yeah, it's done. It's done. Yeah, man, he's just not that great. He's not that great. Shame to say. We're probably just gonna have to give him judgment, because with the proc, he's just inconsistent. So you guys, let me know what your findings have been with Hyperion. It's quite disappointing that 2 updates in a row, we get 2 paywall characters that have great leaderships in Crescent and Hyperion, and then it looks like that's pretty much all they're gonna be good for. Just the leadership. It's kind of sad, especially considering, listen, I can understand Crescent being bad, not really. 2 premium uniforms, not really. But Hyperion, one of the strongest characters in Marvel, really? He's movie, well, technically he's not in a movie, but he's an Eternal. We have an Eternals movie coming up, Eternals update coming up, and you guys couldn't have thought him out a little bit more? That's yikes, man. That's yikes. I guess they're focusing everything on Icarus, Cersei, and the gang, man. Hyperion, my guy. Yeah, it looks like you're gonna be on the shelf just basically as a leadership and an AC character for the majority of the player base. And for me, maybe I'll test you with a judgment. Maybe I'll test you with an authority. See if you can actually kill some people in PvP, since Doom is banned this week. So maybe you could wipe out sentries. I don't know. You guys leave me your thoughts. I'm gone.